Joining me now is Secretary of the California State Transportation Agency, Tokes Omashakin. He previously served as Director of the California Department of Transportation, or Caltrans, which operates under the State Transportation Agency. Thank you for spending some time with us to talk about the Clean California Initiative, Secretary.
Absolutely. Thanks for the invitation, Tanya. Glad to be here.
This is a sweeping $1.1 billion multi-year cleanup effort to remove trash, transform, and beautify public spaces in underserved communities. Southern California received millions of dollars in funding for dozens of projects. How did this initiative come about?
Well, thank you, Tanya, for the question. I think it's important to start off with exactly the place you're starting from, which is the genesis of this whole Clean California program. And it started with Governor Newsom. Governor Newsom recognized that over a long period of time, we had not been making the investments that we needed to make when it came to how the state's highway system looked and how the public spaces in California looked. We were at Caltrans when I was the director, and prior, we were spending on average $85 to $90 million a year on beautifying and cleaning up the state highway system. The governor reached out and said, look, I want to do a whole lot more than what we're doing. And he said, look, we've got a general fund that's increasing, and let's make that investment. And he pushed us, and we did. He wanted to at least triple to quadruple the investment. But I think the important part to also note to the comment you made was the fact that not only did he want to beautify the state, but he wanted to educate people, and he wanted to make sure employment came out of it, to employ people, to educate people in that comprehensive sense, to make sure that whenever the litter was cleaned up, that people understood long term that this was not the way that our state should continue to look, that we should take better care of our public spaces and the highway system in the state, and to give people employment opportunity, people who have been left behind for many years. And so this program, this $1.1 billion, also potentially generates more than 10,000 jobs for Californians. So a sweeping program, like you said, a comprehensive outlook, and it's been off to an amazing start already.
And 98% of the projects will benefit historically underserved or excluded communities. Why was it important that this be a criteria of the Clean California Initiative?
Well, overall, the governor has, from the start, from his inception into office, or even before he got into office, he said he believes in the California for all. The fact that regardless of where people are, where you're in the higher income spectrum in the state to the lower income spectrum, regardless of your gender, regardless of your race, that you should get an opportunity for upward mobility in the state. And we know, data has shown us through COVID, through so many things, that we have communities that have been marginalized in the state, that have been underserved. And he saw this program, this $1.1 billion, as another opportunity to lift up communities that have been underserved, that have been left behind for years. And we made sure that as we laid out this program at Caltrans, that we paid particular attention to that, to the grant programs that we were going to award locally, to the efforts internally within the department, that all of them were going to have an eye or a lens towards equity. And so this is a key tenet of the program, and I think it's going to pay true dividends for people regardless of where they are in society in California.
That is so important, especially right now with everything we're dealing with. In Focus SoCal visited the sites of a few projects in Los Angeles, including Hollenbeck Park in Boyle Heights. Can you highlight a few other Southern California-based projects that received funding?
So there were several words in the Southern California part of the state. More than nearly $80 million was awarded within the Los Angeles region, and we're excited about the potential that those projects have. Willowbrook, in particular, the city of Willowbrook, the town of Willowbrook area, is one example of a project that we believe can be transformative in the area. HACLA, in particular, the Housing Authority in Los Angeles, received 2 grant awards from us at $5 million each. Those grant awards, again, we believe are going to make a transformative change in the community. they are going to not only employ people, give people an opportunity to get a job, to work locally within the region, but also again being a part of making a change and beautifying the different places of the city of Los Angeles. So a key part of this whole grant effort was to make sure that the state, Caltrans and CalSTA, didn't just take on this effort itself, but to make sure that we got the money into local government's hands, and we were able to do that with nearly $79 million going to grant recipients on the Los Angeles region alone.
Clean California is expected to generate an estimated 10,000 to 11,000 jobs over 3 years, as you mentioned, and at-risk youth and Californians who were formerly unhoused or incarcerated will be given priority. Very few programs set up that kind of prioritization. About how many people has the state employed so far?
So far, we've employed nearly 500 people in the state at the state level in California. A majority of those actually have been in the Los Angeles region. Each one of the districts at Caltrans has a number set for them, a goal set for them to reach. And the Los Angeles region by far has been leading the rest of the state in giving people opportunity. I think it's very important to note that the people that are being hired through the Clean California program, the Los Angeles District 7 office has made sure that those people actually live and reside somewhere within the area. So we're not going to the Bay Area or other parts of the state to hire people. It's people who live and believe in the community that they're in, who are getting a chance to be employed to lead and to serve in this program. So it's nearly 500 people already have been hired, but the figure that you quoted of more than 10,000 people is going to be the entire state, and it's not going to be just at the state level where employment opportunity happens. It's going to be local level, NGOs also giving people an employment opportunity through the Clean California program.
Secretary Omishakin, thank you for educating us about the Clean California initiative.
Thank you. Thanks for having us on.
Coming up, how one SoCal woman is motivated